Debbie and Carrie are in Dallas again. In the morning, Carrie attends another speech therapy session, and then in the afternoon she displays some of the paintings she has made in an art gallery.
Debbie, this is awesome. I hoped my paintings would sell well, but they are going so fast.
Well, you only charge $100 per painting. I was told that some paintings can sell for thousands or even millions of dollars. Maybe if you raise the price at the next session, your paintings will sell slower but you will make more money.
As long as I am making enough to pay for my expenses, I am satisfied. Mr. McKinsey, thank you for coming here and bringing Annika too.
Mrs. Sims, I am deeply impressed by your beautiful works. So I will buy up all your remaining paintings and put them up in my home. I think my wife will love them too. As you know, she is confined to a wheelchair, and I am happy to do what I can to lift her spirits now she can no longer walk. And I'd like to draw up a will stating that you and your wife can regain custody of Annika if something should happen to me before she becomes an adult. That seems only fair.
Thank you, but why would the judge in our case cite my speech impediment as an issue but not your wife's inability to walk? That seems illogical.
Indeed, Annika herself brought that up after we took her home. She was clearly unhappy with the decision, hence the offer I am making you now.
Debbie, would you be willing to take Annika back someday?
Of course. She belongs with people who love her, and Richard and I do love her very much. Thanks for showing me the pics of those triplets. I feel like they are my cousins too. Maybe in a few more years we can all do summer camp together, like we did several years ago.
Yeah, and I hope we don't have more wildfires or crazy kidnappers.
Right, that was absurd indeed.
Meanwhile, back at the Smith-Wilson mansion in the town. You say you have something you want to show me?
Yes. Charlie and I found something disturbing in the backyard when he and I were starting to do gardening.
Whitney leads Simon Wilson to the site of the discovery. Oh my god. Those are indeed skeletal remains. Clearly human too. Right. And if my suspicions are correct, those are the remains of my Aunt Jennifer, Uncle Leonard's wife. You know how he told us she left him and Ted when Ted was 4? But we never saw or heard from her again. What if Uncle Leonard killed her and buried her in this backyard? And then history repeated itself with Ted killing and burying his wife Rebecca at their Dallas home. Ah, the police have arrived.
Mr. Wilson, allow us to take over. We will take these bones back to our forensics lab to learn as much as we can from them.
So we have determined that the bones did indeed come from a woman in her 30s, and she died about 22 years ago, about the time Jennifer Wilson disappeared. And she was shot in the forehead.
And I thought the corruption in the Wilson family was terrible enough.
Now Ted's own horrible acts make sense. His father got away with killing his mother, so he must have thought he himself could get away with acts of bullying and murder too.
Ted made a choice to accept his father's own sexist attitude for himself, instead of doing the right thing and reporting what his father did to the police.
There is no statute of limitations on murder, so charges can still be filed against Leonard Wilson over what he did to his wife. And then once he is convicted, he will never get out of prison. Like his son, I hope he gets life without parole.